You're listening to T-Sequence Narratives. Tonight's story isn't about a breakup. There was no argument, no single moment where everything fell apart. It's about what happens when effort goes unnoticed long enough that it slowly stops, when leaving feels louder than staying, and when someone exits emotionally without ever saying goodbye. This is a story about absence that arrived quietly, about giving up without telling anyone. Some moments don't end loudly, they fade quietly. This is one of those moments. I didn't wake up one day and decide to give up. There was no clear decision, no deadline, no final conversation rehearsed in my head. It happened the way dust settles in a room you no longer open the windows in. Slow, unnoticed, until one day everything feels heavier than it should. At first, I tried the obvious things. I asked questions, not the dramatic kind, just small ones. How was your day? Do you want to talk about it? Is everything okay between us? The answers were never wrong, they just never went anywhere. Fine. Tired. It's nothing. So I adjusted. I told myself everyone has phases, that closeness isn't constant, that this was temporary. I learned to wait. When I spoke, I softened my tone. When something bothered me, I explained it carefully so it wouldn't sound like blame. I chose words that wouldn't start anything. And for a while, that felt like maturity. But there's a difference between being patient and slowly erasing yourself. I noticed it in small places first. I stopped sharing the little details, the things that didn't matter enough to defend. A thought I had during the day, something funny I almost said, an opinion I decided to keep. It wasn't worth the pause that followed, that moment where I wondered if you were listening. So I kept those things to myself, not because I was angry, but because it was easier. I still showed up. I still answered messages. I still remembered important dates. From the outside, nothing had changed. But inside, I had started keeping score of something I never wanted to count. How often I was the only one reaching. When I stopped initiating conversations, days passed without notice. When I stopped suggesting plans, nothing replaced them. When I went quiet, silence didn't worry anyone. That was the moment I understood something I hadn't wanted to name. I wasn't being missed in real time, only in routine. And routines don't ask questions. So I adjusted again. I told myself this was just how things were now, that closeness didn't need constant maintenance, that maybe this was adulthood. But the truth was quieter. I had started preparing myself for an ending that hadn't been announced. I stopped expecting check-ins, stopped hoping you'd notice when I was distant, stopped wondering if tonight would be different. Not because I didn't care, but because caring without response is exhausting. There's a particular loneliness that comes from being with someone who doesn't realize you're leaving. Not physically, emotionally. You're still there for conversations that need filling, still available when it's convenient, still familiar, but no longer invested. What surprised me most wasn't that I gave up. It was how natural it felt afterward. Once I stopped trying, my gaze became quieter in a different way. Not empty, just lighter. I didn't check my phone as often, didn't reread messages looking for tone, didn't replay conversations in my head, wondering if I'd said too much or not enough. There was a calm in no longer hoping. And that calm scared me, because it meant I had already grieved something before it officially ended. I had mourned the version of us that asked questions, that noticed shifts in mood, that checked in without being prompted. By the time silence became the norm, I had adjusted to it. That's the part people don't talk about, how much the absence trains you. You learn how much to give without expecting anything back. You learn which thoughts are worth sharing and which ones aren't. You learn to manage disappointment quietly so it doesn't inconvenience anyone. Eventually, you stop needing reassurance, not because you feel secure, but because you've accepted the lack of it. There were moments I almost said something. Late at night, in the space between conversations, I'd think, I should tell you I'm slipping away. But then I'd ask myself what I was hoping would happen. That you'd suddenly notice everything you hadn't noticed before? That effort would return fully formed because I finally named its absence? It felt unfair to ask someone to respond to something they'd already shown they didn't see. So I stayed quiet, and the relationship kept moving forward, on habit alone. We talked about surface things, logistics, plans that didn't feel real. From the outside, it probably looked stable. Inside, it felt finished. I wasn't angry. Anger requires energy. This was softer than that, more resigned. I had already let go of the need to be understood. That's when I knew. People don't announce when they give up. They become quieter, simpler, less complicated. They stop asking for reassurance they already know won't come. And the strange part is, no one notices right away. Because on the surface, nothing looks broken. There are no fights to point to, no obvious neglect, no moment to blame. Just a gradual absence of effort that blends into normalcy. I stayed longer than I should have, not because I believed it would change, but because leaving would have required explaining something no one had noticed. How do you say, "I've been disappearing for months," to someone who never looked closely enough to see it? So I didn't. I stayed polite. I stayed present enough. I let the relationship continue on momentum alone. Until one day, I realized something else. I didn't feel relief at the idea of fixing it. I felt relief at the idea of stopping. That's when you know the quiet exit has already happened. By the time I finally left, or maybe just emotionally finished leaving, there was no argument, no shock, no dramatic realization on either side, just a calm acknowledgement that something had ended long before it was named. Sometimes I wonder if you noticed how long I'd been gone before it officially ended, or if to you it seemed sudden. That's the strange thing about quiet exits. Feel slow to the person leaving and abrupt to the person who wasn't paying attention. I don't regret not saying anything. I regret that silence became easier than honesty, that adapting felt safer than asking, that I learned how to disappear without anyone noticing. But I don't regret leaving, because staying would have meant continuing to shrink, and some losses aren't loud enough to fight for. They just teach you when to stop. This has been T-Sequence Narratives. If this story felt familiar, you're not alone. Sometimes the quiet moments are the ones that stay with us the longest. You can subscribe to T-Sequence Narratives if you're drawn to stories that unfold slowly and honestly. We'll continue next time.